we're up to here now.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. それで赤章入ったのかよ? Oh, so in that case, that means he entered the 赤章 then? And the next bubble here will go to you, Cookie.
It's like, says Psycho, and then Shujin says, Nanka shoza, nanka koza ka, koza ka shi te iu ka, tete shite, tete shite na, which is like, wow, that's pretty clever, or rather, really, thorough of him.
はいはい。Perfect. でも本気で目指すなら、一つの戦力だと思う。現に、囚人だって同じようなことから始めてんじゃん。He says, if you are truly going to be aiming for it, then the first thing you got to do is to have a plan, I think. Which is just like the thing that Shujing just started doing right now. It's the same kind of thing. And Anthony has popped up, so this bubble right here will go to you, Anthony.
Is your dog there?
Yes.
He
He's breathing heavy.
wants a piece of the action.
He does. So rude. He's like, you're talking about me. Anthony? I saw you were here. You not no microphone? I cannot hear you at all, Anthony. Going nigh. You can only hear my dog. In that case, while
Oh, he
Anthony
left.
is texting Cookie, you can read that, and Anthony will get something in a second once he's
Yep.
reconnected.
で、今受けてる漫画の研究結果ってどんな感じ? It's like, so how are the results of your investigation into, the mangas that you've been looking at,
Yeah,
etc.?
specifically, the ukete is basically saying manga that have like succeeded, kind of like saying popular manga.
Oh, yep.
Specifically rather than manga in general, which manga in general would kind of be ukite, but they're specifically focusing on popular
おはよ
stuff. Ohayo, kikoeru. In that case, Anthony, next
Hi.
level will be for you. The previous line was, so what did you realize about the manga that is popular that you've been researching?
う。結果ってほどまだ出てないけど、例えばジャンプだと、about the results, it hasn't been out yet, but例えばジャンプだと、for example, 例えば if in the case of like jump.
Yeah, that's basically saying. So we don't have. He doesn't have a specific result that he wants to like say. Oh, this is what I found out. But when he's speaking about something like jump, then he says, 残念ながらスポーツコンは流行らないと思う. Then it's kind of something I'm not super excited to say. But the thing that's really popular right now in jump is manga that is like those sporty manga where they're like, aha, they're in their like old sporty stuff, getting all fired up, action type of things. Next bubble here, we'll go to Cookie.
Okay. 時代なのかな? Which means like I wonder if there's a set period. And then it's like逆に今スポコンで、天下とからすごい、いや、すごいだろうけど、so it's like on the other hand, right now, um, like sports con, like that sort of genre of manga. If that's being taken like around the whole country, that must be like dreadful. Although dot dot dot.
Uh, Sugoi, I don't think means dreadful. Um, but it does pop up as a definition of that word. I've never heard it used that way, which is interesting. Um, Weird. Must be like one of those words that like over time has changed. Because I've only ever heard sugoi used in like that's crazy. But not
Yeah.
literally saying someone is crazy. So yeah, I
So
would
maybe a
guess.
better word there is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess since we got jidai na no kana, saying it's a thing of eras. That since we're having this like Pacific era thing he's talking about, that the tenka is probably referring to the world rather than the country, but not like specifically things. So it's kind of saying sports stuff is like popular all around the world, I think is what he's saying here, in this era versus in the past maybe. I don't know. It's the gaku part's kind of funny, like what are they referring to? かけるほどやったスポーツもないしな。Um, So he says, as far as drawing goes, I have never done, sports really before. Because Shujin's like a nerd, probably. This here goes to Anthony.
あ、ジョーが好きって言ったけど、言っただけで、スポコンやろうなんて言ってないって。Is this 明日のジョーが好きって
Yes.
I like about the thing that 言っただけで I've I've said that I've only said I like 明日のジョースポコンやろうなんてスポコンやろうなんて something like sports genre to do something like that. I haven't said anything like that. I haven't said
Yes. Because they're talking about, so these two characters, right? They want to make a manga together. This guy right here is doing research on what kind of manga is popular. And he says right now in Jump, sports manga is really popular. And perhaps due to the era it's getting like super popular all around the world. People are really excited about Haikyuu or whatever. Uh, but he says, even though I said I love Joe, and Ashita no Joe is a sports manga about boxing, that's what that's called. So even though he said he liked that manga, he really never had any intention when he was like, I'm going to make a manga of making a sports manga like Joe, because he doesn't particularly want to make a sports manga, is kind of what he's saying. That's not like his genre, what he wanted to do. And then Cookie, next bubble right here will go to you.
でも人気漫画にある共通点を見つけた。But the pop, not as for, but hang on. But I found that's a point in common with popular mangas.
Yes, I found a point in common between different popular mangas. Katana, sword. So ignoring the sports con, we have this right here for Anthony.
ナルト、ワンピース、ブリッジ、銀玉、他にも刀や剣っぽいのが出てくる漫画は多い。バトルって現実世界じゃないってのも共通点だ。So I think he's saying all of these mangas like Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Gintama, they all have like katana and sword like they have so much of that, and then battle, and then the battle takes place in like another world, not like in this reality type of
Yes.
thing.
刀が受けてるから出すってのは抵抗あるけど、I'm a little bit against saying that because the katana is popular, that's why it's popping out into things. 俺、今までそれに気づいてなかった。He says, up to now I never really noticed that. 確かに多い. But once you bring that up, it certainly is popular. I'm gonna double check Teiko because that seemed weird. And next bubble here goes to Cookie.
俺今までそれに気づいてな
分析。
かった。Did I miss something?
Yeah. Definitely no kizuku in there. But same-ish meaning
Wrong
in this
panel.
context.
Wrong panel, that's my fault. 誰もそんな分析しながら読まないから気づくとか気づかないじゃないって。Hang on. So it's like daremo, I believe, means everyone, and then it's like that, like while doing that kind of analysis, and then it says it's like the things are noticed.
What does yomanai mean?
To not read.
Yeah, so in this context, the daremo is actually connected to yomanai. So instead of being everyone, who is it?
No one.
No one. So no one yomanais.
So no one reads what?
Reads while.
Yeah, reads while and then it's like to notice.
No, bunseki is not kizuku. Notice is over here. Bunseki is when you are kind of thinking about something and like tearing it up into little pieces. Analyzing, that's the word. So he says nobody's reading and analyzing it to that extent. The fact that katanas are really popular in manga. No one actually does that. So rather than saying
Okay, fair enough.
kizuku toka kizukanai janai te. So this right here is probably hard to translate in English, but it's just saying it's not really about noticing it. It's not something people analyze. Like it's not something to notice.
Yeah, I was completely focused on that part. I completely like thought I was done with the previous part.
Anthony, your turn.
囚人の一番好きな漫画は well then, the number one, well, what is Shujin's number one loved manga?
一番って難しいけど、やっぱドラゴンボールかな。It's hard to say what is my number one favorite thing, but I guess you really gotta say Dragon Ball's the best. And next right here is for Cookie.
主人のだって新しい漫画とは言えないじゃん。Hang on. So I'm not sure what this Shuji no Datte means.
You can ignore the no. Shujin datte. Do you know who Shujin is?
That's the blonde-haired guy.
Yeah, so he says, even you, Shujin.
Or you after all. You don't talk about new manga?
Yes, that is what it's saying. So this right here is a reference about something that happened way earlier in this chapter where Saiko said, I love Atashi no Jo. And then Shujin was like, dude, that is so old. I agree with you though. That's a great manga. And he said that was my favorite, a really old manga. And then when it's Shujin's turn to say what his favorite manga is, he says Dragon Ball. And so of course Saiko says, wait, that's also a really old manga. That's what he's saying. So he's like, oh gosh, even you aren't saying a new manga, because their argument that they're kind of having is that the most popular manga are the old stuff, and people haven't really been making any manga that competes with it. Has been like a kind of running joke throughout. Mostly the first chapter, I felt like that was popping up quite a bit, where he was like, due to the declining birth rate, it's not possible for our manga to become the most popular manga, as Dragon Ball already exists. Like, has been like a thing they've been kind of chatting about. The funniest thing about this is that I feel like the real reason this is happening is because the author here is old and he doesn't like any of the modern manga lately, rather than it actually being like high schoolers when they have to say their favorite manga, they're picking something from the 1990s. This right here is going to go to Anthony.
やっぱり天才の書いた漫画だな。つうか、結局面白い漫画って天才にしか書けないのかも。So the first bubble, as expected, tensai no skilled, or is it
Tensai is more like genius in
intelligent?
this context, I would
Genius.
say.
Okay. A genius at like drawing manga.
Mm-hmm. As
But
expected, that it's really a manga that was made by a genius. So he's referring to Dragon Ball here.
天才の書いた漫画だな。
Mm-hmm.
つうか結局面白い漫画って天才にしか書けないのかも。In the end, in an interesting manga is like drawn by none other than like geniuses.
You're right. Only geniuses draw interesting manga. Perfect. Next bubble here goes to Cookie.
じゃあ、天才じゃない人が書いた一番面白い漫画って、なんだろう It's like, well, for the people who aren't geniuses, and like they drew something, like what is like the number one most interesting manga?
The way you worded that made me feel like you might not have known what's going on here. This right here is a relative clause describing this manga.
Yeah, that's what I kind of. Oh, I thought there was a full stop at the end of the kaita, but okay, fair enough.
In this context, it wouldn't make sense to do that. じゃあ、天才じゃない人が書いた一番面白い漫画ってなんだろう? Which is, wait, so a really interesting manga that's not made by a genius, what would it be? What would be a manga?
Yeah, I think that makes more sense now that you say it like that.
Next bubble here goes to Anthony.
史上最強の一発屋の漫画家。史上最強。The strongest on earth. Is it Shijo? Shijo is, I don't know what Shijo means.
Well, it has the kanji
History.
for, yeah.
the highest in the history of Ipatsuya. The for like the Ipatsu is like publication, yeah, publisher.
Kind
I,
of.
I don't know
It's
what.
more like saying a one-hit wonder. It's more like the idea. So a
One shot. Is it one
I don't
shots?
I don't no, it's more like one-hit wonder. I was right, but you're right. Ippatsu can mean one shot. He just saying like a manga that became extremely well known in history as a one-hit wonder, but it doesn't have to be like a one shot necessarily. Like
Ah,
it's like if a manga artist has made multiple manga, but only one of their manga was popular, like Future Diaries.
ah,
Even though they made other stuff, their manga's all trash, and only the best trash was is
okay.
remembered. It's like that
I
kind of
see.
thing. Is what he's referring to right there, I believe.
I see. Okay. So しかもその漫画で一生超えたら天才に入るからダメな。Okay. So the highest rated manga in history, highest rated one Ipatsuya no manga. しかも however, その漫画で一生超えたら if we like consume that kind of manga in our lifetime, 天才に入るから to be able to become to enter geniushood, 天才に入るからダメな. It's not, still not, it's not possible, it's not okay.
Yeah, so he's saying the
Well, yeah,
manga. Yeah, it's pretty. This is hard. I'm not exactly sure what he's saying here, but my guess is that he's saying it has to be a manga that if you like really, really read it, they still can't say like, ah, yes, this was made by a genius. If you felt like that when reading it, then that's also you can't say that manga. He wants him to pick out a manga that is really popular, but you read it and you don't go, man, a genius must have made that. Like Future Diary. It's kind of that's like what he's thinking of right now. A really popular manga made from an artist that's not very good, but you read it and you're like, this is trash.
ah,
Something like that. Next is for Cookie.
はい。それって、難しいな。Like, well, that's difficult. Yeah. And it's like, で、そんなの考えても意味なくね。Um, I think the te at the end is like, but I think that's what it means. Or you said, is that right?
The te right here.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I would say but would be a better translation than you said in this context. Um, the te is just acting as a bridge between these two thoughts. Like, wait, is probably how I would personally translate it. Um,
Okay. Okay,
but
so I'll
you,
go like, but. Oh, did you want to say something?
no, I'm just gonna say you gotta translate it because there was a pause at the
Yeah.
end.
Okay. It's like, but that kind of thinking, uh, that kind of thinking is also pointless, isn't it? And then it says,
Exactly.
yeah, 俺たち天才目指してんだろう. Says like, for us, like, we should, no, I don't think there's a should in there, but um,
Should makes it easier, I
Okay,
feel
I
like, to
could.
translate that. Yeah, I'll take that. It isn't
Yeah,
in there, but it does flow well in the English as a way to translate that line.
yeah. We should aim. Yeah, we should aim to be like geniuses or something.
Perfect. And I went over to Google this thing, and その漫画で一生食える is saying you're able to eat your whole life from that manga, saying basically the manga gives you enough money that you don't have to like continue working. That's what that's saying
Passive
right there.
income.
Exactly. That manga becomes passive income for you, then it's no good. That person is definitely a genius if they made their manga that good. だよな。とにかく今日はせっかく来たんだから、ネーム見られるだけ見るよ。He's like, yeah, you're totally right. Anyway, since we came all the way over here, I should just go over and look at the names that I should look at.
And by Nemu, we mean storyboard, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Good.
Canceled out. 1 second. Do, 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 do. How rude, how rude. This was around 1 whoop, and whoop, shoop, zoom in. And this right here will go to Anthony.
Okay, 最後、これ真似てもダメって言ったけど、最後、even if you copy, it's no good. 言ったけど、I told you, I told you that like even if you copy this, it's not good.
Perfect. That's exactly what it says. Yep, because the names that are in this house are for a gag manga, and he's not planning on making a gag manga. Next bubble right here goes to Cookie.
すごく参考になるよ。あ赤ペンで直しが入ってることなんか、なるほど。なるほどって思う。So I believe he's trying to say these gag mangas storyboards will serve as a reference
It'll be a
with
Sugoku reference. Is this a good
yeah, will
reference
be
or a bad reference?
like a really good
A
reference.
really good reference. Ignore that terrible definition. I don't know why that's in this.
Yeah, it's what was it? It's in the it's the first entry in what was it? In
So
Yomitan, if it
it's like
shows
the
the
word
kanji.
literally, right? The first definition is
Yeah,
literally, the second is figurative.
yeah. It's a bit weird. Um, and then it says about the red pen
Mm-hmm.
being corrections.
Right.
Um,
For this, you kind of have to
what is
fill in
he
the blanks.
thinking? Yeah, I'm gonna have to
なるほど
fill in the blanks.
is what he's thinking.
Yeah. No, I don't, is that really what he's thinking?
Yeah, what does なるほど mean?
I get it.
I get it. And this right here is when he thinks that.
Oh God.
なるほど at the ところ where 赤ペンが直しが入る. That's where he goes, なるほ
Oh,
ど
right. It's like, oh, he goes, I get it when he sees like the red pen that serves as a correction.
Yeah, so wherever the editor went, don't do this, do that. That's where he wants to learn from the name, not like the panels that the gag manga was, but where the editor corrects for it. And as a totally off-topic comment, because I wanted to say while I was thinking about it, it's like so interesting how different manga do their like line spacing. Like this author specifically has it like very logical where he does stuff. Like it's like that's where the sentence ends, that's where a comma would go. Like he's like very on that. versus when we read My Little Monster, author puts zero effort into that. They just have to fit it in the bubble. So like the motsu, right, would be like spit like that, and the te would be over here. Just like kind of interesting how different that is.
Wait,
Anyway,
how can you tell the spacing? I can't see it.
no, you. So the space. So this author, there's no space like spacing in these specific lines. I'm talking about when he decides to indent. Because like for example, we see here we have a long line, a short line, and a long line. Um, these right here is the same sentence right there. He could have had the haidu right here doing haite and then have this cut off over there, nanka, then becomes naru hodo, right? He could have split it up like that if he wanted to. But he didn't.
Okay.
Instead, he chooses it at the logical points, like the most logical points where things should be split up. So it's split up here at damete, then ita, rather than being split up at dame and then having deita, like that. So
Yeah,
like there's
I know
a
what you
same
mean
thing
now.
like over there. So that's what I'm like just was pointing out. This is very interesting because the last manga we read together was the opposite. The author put zero effort into doing that.
Wow.
As like a comparison. これ持って帰っちゃダメだよ. It's like, I'm not allowed to bring this home with me, right? 戻せば問題ないだろ? So as long as you bring it home, there's no problem. And the next bubble down here goes to Anthony.
わお、マジ。何箱持ってかな。結構重いんだよな。wow, really? 何箱持ってかな。How many box should I like carry or take with me? 結構重いんだよな。It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, they'd be pretty heavy. 主人すごいやる気だ. Man, 主人's really motivated. きっと主人なら面白い話を考えてネームにできる. If it's 主人, he definitely can make a really interesting storyboard. Next bubble here goes to Cookie.
まだ、つけペンで書いたことない僕は、どのくらい時間がかかるんだ? So, like still, this pen, like, the me that still can't draw things with this pen, is like thinking, though it's not in the sentence here, is like thinking, how long will it take for me to like get used to it?
Perfect. Good job filling that in. 主人 Nani? Hey, 主人 What? Next panel here goes to Anthony.
俺たち18までにアニメ化までいけると思う。全然思わない。So the first bubble is like, until I'm 18 and until we're able to make it into an anime. Do you think we can like do it? 全然思わない。I don't think 全然 is like 全然 is negative, right? 全然 is
But the real negative is the omo-nai, right?
Yeah. I totally don't think.
Yeah. I don't think it's possible at all. Because zen just means 100%. It's most commonly used negatively, saying, I don't think it's possible at all. But it could theoretically be used positively.
Okay.
I feel like I have seen that and was annoyed by it. Asari ite kureru na. Don't say that so, like, spitting it straight out.
Easily.
So easily. So rude. Next bubble here goes to Cookie.
声優 声優って、アニ、
アイドル。
アイドル、アイドル、みたいに、18くらいで、あ、バンバンで、出てきてる、あ、気がする。I feel as if though to come out with a bang at 18, um, like like a voice actor, actress idol. Um, hang on, I'm missing something.
He's talking about Azuki,
Yeah, he
and he
is. I
wants
know
to
that.
get married to her by the time they're 18. Wouldn't that be nice? Can I make a
Yeah,
manga by then? No, that's what he said. So
yeah,
his response to that, but I feel like, people like Azuki, her job is seiyu, not manga become
yeah.
anime. So what do we feel like happens with seiyu? When can they get their job?
Mm. When they're like 18.
Yeah, they can come out like an idol does if you are a voice actor, is what it's saying there. So you can totally be working at the goal. Versus manga, you could try to become a mangaist, but becoming a manga artist at 18 is very rare. Versus he feels like a seiyuu, that's a lot more common because it's kind of like being an idol. So the younger age increases the chance of you actually getting the job or something. 今の声優ってそんな感じのも多いよ。18どころか. It's like, yeah, the voice actors of today there's definitely a lot that are around that 18-year-old age, huh? About 18 years old. そっか! I got it! So the next bubble here goes to Cookie.
Yep. Azuki kawaii kara,実力が、伴う、sorry, 伴う前でも、それだけで売り出されるかもしれない。So it's like they're talking about Azuki here. Like she's cute, um, so it's like that ability kind of accompanies her,
Mm-hmm.
um, before or like in front, but um, it's only to that extent that um, she can probably put herself out there, to sell herself.
Yeah. So just with the fact that she is cute, she probably would be able to become a voice actor, is kind of what he's saying there. Even if even so he's basically saying so there's the ability to be a good voice actor, and in front of that we have cuteness. And he says even
Yeah,
just with the cuteness, she could probably get the job by the time she's 18 because there's a little bit of an idol thing going on in Japan apparently for voice actors, where if they're cute, they can get some jobs uh, somewhere, even if you
easier.
ignore their ability, is kind of what he's saying. But she
Yeah,
does have ability. Saiko, how could you say such a thing? サイコを誘ったのは漫画になりたいから。今はその気持ちと同じくらいサイコとあずきが結婚できたらいいと思ってる。嘘じゃない。So, Psycho, it's true that I invited you for the intention to become a manga artist together. And now, I feel like at the same amount of want to become manga with you, I also, want you to be able to marry Azuki. And that is not a lie. And then, Anthony, next panel will be for you.
わかった。 18までにアニメ化、それを目標、いや、現実にしようぜ。主人。So I understand. Till eight. Till we reach 18. So anime ka, それを we're going to like make the making it into an anime a target. No, we're going to like make it into a reality.
Perfect.
主人。
やってやるよ、絶対に。We're definitely gonna do it for sure. なあ、最高。この原稿になったやつのネームもどこかにある？並べてみたいんだ。Hey, Psycho, do you know where, so he has like so this he has in front of him isn't a name, he has a genko, which is more like the manuscript, and he's wondering if he knows where the name that is assigned to it is, and he wants to line them up so he can compare the two. And the next bubble here goes to Cookie.
どこかの、段ボールに入ってるはずだ。So it's like, somewhere in the cupboard, it's supposed to be in there.
Yeah, the danboru
Yeah.
is actually referring to the cardboard boxes, not the closet the cardboard boxes were in.
Sorry, yeah. You're right.
よし、
And
探
then
す。
it's like,
Okay, I'm
it's like,
gonna
right,
look. Yeah.
let's go in there.
Yep.
Mm.
俺も手伝うよ。I'm also gonna help. 悪いな。Sorry about making you help me. それにしても、どれだけネームあるんだ。どのダンブルの中もぎっしり。ぎっしり. So he says, but ignoring that, adding to that, how many carbo boxes are there even here? Gosh. And in these carbo boxes, they're like jam packed with all the different little manuscripts, just full. And next bubble here goes to Anthony.
これはどこかで見た覚えがある。読み切りのか。where have I like seen? Where have I like remember seeing this? 読み切りのか。Did I read it thoroughly?
Yeah. どこかで somewhere.
Somewhere.
Oops. まだクローゼットの中にも原稿になったのなんて何十分の1、いや、何百分の1。一体どんなページで書いたらこんなに。So he says, and there's also more inside of the closet. The ones that actually became the actual manuscripts, it had to be 1 in 10. No, 1 in 100. My gosh, how many pages did he actually draw? There's just so many. こんなに. So many. Next bubble here goes to Cookie.
Like, ちょっと外で、電話してくる. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go outside and make a phone call. And
You
then,
can
oh yeah, and then it's like Azuki is like, is it for Azuki? It's like, 番号知らねえって、I don't know her number.
Yes. And the te is saying,
Yeah.
I already told you that. お父さん、どうした？お前から電話なんて初めてじゃないか？ Hey Dad, what's going on with you? This is the first time I think you've ever called me. And the next bubble here goes to Anthony.
ごめん。僕今までおじさん自殺だと思ってた。本当に寝る間も 死んで。Sorry, 今まで。Today's, till today, おじいさんの自殺。I just thought about like his suicide till this day.
Yes. So
Just
da
this day.
is kind of like an interesting thing. 自殺だと思う versus 自殺とも do have slightly different ways you can translate them. The da is helping the show in this context. He's not saying I've been thinking about his suicide this whole time. He said I thought he killed himself this whole time. The vibe is slightly different. And the da, if the da wasn't here, it would be what you said. But the da is helping to show that it's like a thing that gets added for vagueness, kind of. I don't really know how to explain the grammar part for it.
Be right back. Be right back. Just skip my bubbles for now. I'll come.
Sounds good. And I think this one might be really hard unless this popped up for you as a single word.
本当に寝る間も死んで。Really, even like in my sleep, while I'm sleeping.
Good guess. So, 本当に寝る間も惜しんで. In this context, he's saying he really did not sleeping at all work this whole time. And the work has been dropped here. Because he was told by his parents that his uncle died from overwork. And he said, that doesn't make any sense. My uncle didn't have a job. Right? His manga got axed and he didn't have a job, but somehow he died from overwork. That doesn't make any sense. He had to have killed himself. That was Psycho's point of view. But he goes to the house and he says page after page after page of manga that his uncle has written, and he realized, oh, he didn't kill himself. He really did, with missing sleep, just drew page after page after page, causing himself to die. バカかお前。What are you, an idiot? あいつは自殺するような根性なしじゃない。That guy, my brother, your uncle, there's no way he had the guts to kill himself. 逆境になればなるほど歯を食いしばって頑張るやつ。It's like the total opposite. He was the kind of guy that would always try his best and just grit his teeth, just even if he's going through a bad situation. 泣き言一つ言わずにな. And he wouldn't even complain at all while doing so. And the next bubble here goes to you, Anthony.
そうだね。そうだった。いつ言っても黙ってひたすらなんか書いてた。そうだった。そうだね、そうだった。Is that, is that it? いつ
The itsu itemo, I would say the only way it makes sense is if it's a subject's him and not the other guy. So it says, like, no matter when I came over, kind of saying, itsu itemo.
no matter
He would,
no matter
then it's
when.
about the uncle. He would what?
黙ってひたすら。He would just like be silent and hita surana and just like continue on drawing
Yes.
someone.
Perfect. And Cookie, the next panel here goes to you.
森高、狂人の死、読んだか is like Moritaka or the psycho guy. Have you read the big man star? And then have you read that yet? Which is like じゃあ、坂本龍馬のセリフ詩 teru na. So that's a name here. So it's like, well, I think that's the name of the uncle.
I would think it's the name of the whoever made Kyoji no Hoshi, which might be the uncle, since I could see Sakamoto being. I don't know the uncle's name.
Yeah, we don't. None of us do. But I'm just guessing here. And then
It's
it's like,
possible. It's for sure the name of whoever wrote Kyoji no Hoshi.
hmm. And then the last bit is like serifu, which is like a comment or something.
Serifu isn't really comment. It's a phrase.
Hmm.
And this is
Yeah,
not the
so
uncle's name. I googled that. His uncle's name is Mashiru Nobuhiro. His pen name is Kawaguchi Taro. And so, no.
oh damn. Okay. I need to look at that again, but never mind. Um is like I know that phrase or whatever it is you said earlier.
Yeah. It says the na. So theoretically, he could be saying, "I am knowing this phrase," but it's a little bit weird to say that. Um, with the na at the end, even though na is like a ne, it's a ne to yourself. It's it's if he was saying, "Man, I really do know that phrase from that book," that'd be like a really weird and random thing to say on the phone to somebody.
Yeah, fair
Um,
enough.
so because of that, we can assume the subject of the sentence is the person he's on the phone with. Uh, just because it would be an odd thing to say otherwise. If he wasn't on the phone, he could say that. How you translated it, just the phone call makes that weird. Saying, "Yeah, you do know that famous phrase from Kyoji no Hoshi, right?" But he's saying right, not in a like you agree with me. He's saying, if I remember correctly, you would know this phrase for sure. Kind of more like
Yeah.
that kind of vibe. 明日のジョーは大好きだったな. And he says, he really loved 明日のジョー. And he says, mm-hmm. So, I don't, maybe that's like I don't know. I think if I knew what 明日のジョー was more, I'd recognize the big star.
Is that for Anthony or
Sorry,
me?
Anthony, sorry. Do do do.
あ、父さん、もう言わなくていい。ありがとう。そうか。じゃあ、切るぞ。So the first part was like, Dad, you don't really have to say anything anymore. So thanks. Is that right? Then I'll cut the power off. Break. I'll uh,
Hang
power
up is
off.
what we say in
Hang up.
English. Turn the power off. You're not wrong in a way. Next bubble here goes the cookie.
Dang, it's like Sakamoto Ryoma no kotoba. 男なら死ぬときは、たとえドブの中でも前のめりに死ね. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. Um, so that's the uncle's name. Okay, I didn't
No,
forget. Fuck,
this is the author of Ashita no Joel.
I'm so stupid. But yeah, the author of that um thing, um, his words were like, um, when when a man dies, um, I don't know what this dobu means.
Dobu?
Yeah, dobu.
Uh,
Can you see it?
I can't see it. What is Dobu? I don't know. It's probably a character. Dobu. It can mean ditch. It's definitely ditch.
Yeah. Um, Uh, I'm trying to really think about it, and it's not clicking.
Okay. So we have a phrase that this author wrote. Specifically, it's something he wrote in Asha no Jo that had to do with giant stars.
Yeah.
I've never read Asha no Jo, so I don't know what the context is. Try to Google it. All I got that it was something from Asha no Jo. That's why I was really bad at trying to Google it. And he's saying, when a man dies, for example, when they're dying in a ditch, they
Yep.
die in a medi kind of way. So medi means so what does mine mean? I'll start there.
So it's like to go forward.
It does mean to go forward. So they die forward is what he's saying. The medi here is saying to pitch, like when you're dying, you don't die backwards, like you're not
You die.
fainting, you're dying
You dive
forward.
forwards. Yeah.
Like that's all he's saying. So he's basically saying, even if you're gonna die, don't retreat, just go on forward. Is what he's saying here.
Hmm.
Because that was hard for you, I'll give you the next line. Next one looks easier.
Yeah. そして、矢吹城は、完全燃焼し、ん Then it's like, 燃え尽きる。No, 燃え尽き、真っ白な灰になった。And,
Just so you know, Yabuki-jo is the name of the main character from Ashita no Jo.
wait, is that a real manga / anime?
Yes. Didn't know that?
Whoa. No, I didn't know that.
No, he's quoting, same as Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I know Dragon Ball's real. I just
Yeah.
thought, is that really okay for them to
Ash-
literally insert
I know, I
Dragon
think
Ball
that too. I think it's okay because they're both published in Jump.
Okay, fair enough.
So it's owned by the same publisher kind of thing. So as long as the publisher owns the right, they can do whatever they want in there. So yeah, so Ashita no Jo is a very old boxing manga.
So it's like, and this character, the main character, was like, and I think Kanzen Nensho is like giving it your all.
Yeah.
That she on the end, is it to be like, does it act as like as
Suru?
proof of?
I'd say it's from Suru and there's a comma here, just like the Moitsuki.
Yeah, giving it your all and burning out, exhausting your energy, like being reduced to pure white ashes.
Perfect. That's exactly what it says. And I have no context for what on earth that is telling us what that means from that manga, because I've never read it. おじいさんも前のめりに真っ白に漫画の名シーンで父さんは僕に男としての心構えを伝えようと。And my uncle, just like that, he also died pitching forward toward his dream in a turning into like a white ash kind of way. And this famous scene in a manga, this is what my dad was basically telling me. Hey, as a man, you gotta prepare yourself. You gotta you gotta die pitching forward toward your dreams. And the next bubble here goes to Anthony.
もう半端なんかやらない。漫画あずきみほ、命をかけるつもりで。This isn't like a bluff, 半端なんか。This isn't something to be bluffing about.
I think
Manga.
Nampa means half-assed, doesn't it?
Half-assing. Okay. I shouldn't be doing something like a half-assing it. Then manga azuki miho ino manga, then Azuki Miho, then Inuchi o kakeru tsumori de. I have to like put my wager my life on this manga
Yeah.
and Azuki
I
Miho.
plan on wagering my life on Azuki and manga. And the reason why I kept on pushing us is because I knew the ending was coming. So that's the end of that chapter. Woo woo. We can see some more name, the second version of the name. Pretty fun to be like very Ghibli here. That's
So it's
pretty
like
different.
yeah, so they're pretty much showing us like the process of what the author went through before
Mm-hmm.
coming up to the final form.